Ma, now listen, you're...
Oh, boy. I ate too much congealy.
What's the matter?
I got a bubble.
Why are you rubbing your chest?
The bubble is in my chest.
What do you mean you have a bubble? What is it? Is it pain?
If it was pain, I'd call it pain. I have a bubble.
Blanche, do you know what a bubble is?
I know what a bubble is.
I know what it is. I've had a bubble.
In your head.
He's not a rat. He's a mouse.
He is history. I'm calling the exterminator.
Oh, no, Dorothy, don't do that. I'll talk to him.
What, you'll talk to the exterminator?
No, the mouse. I can communicate with animals. He's just a little field mouse who's lost his way. He'll listen to me. Mice always have.
Rose, do you have any idea how weird you are? I wasn't sure that we had done anything, actually, until 9 months later when the baby came. Then I figured out that we had. You know, that was my only proof.
I waited till my wedding night. No. Yes.
And?
And it was a surprise.
How's that possible? Another man showed up?
No parties, and I want you to stay out of the liquor cabinet while we're gone.
Hey, who am I? Get out of here.
Dorothy, do you have the airline tickets?
Yes, Rose.
And the passports?
Yes, Rose.
Did you remember to bring Pepto-Bismol?
Yes, Rose.
Dramamine?
Yes, Rose.
And chewing gum in case we have to pop our ears.
Yes, Rose.
Did you call a cab to take us to the airport?
No, Rose, I called 2 cabs. One for Blanche and me, and one for you, because you're making me crazy with all your questions.
So you live here too, huh?
Yes. But why would you ask me if I live here if you've already...
Kiss me, Rose.
Go easy, Patrick. It's not a toy.
Well, I have to go, but we're still on for tonight.
Oh, you betcha.
Same rendezvous as last night.
10:45. You'll pull your car up behind the theater and leave the trunk open.
Goodbye.
She's been for the past 2 days, locked in her room, crying.
I can't believe she's still upset because her college classmates look better than she does.
I can. I tell you, her looks have always been very important to Blanche.
Blanche is a very vain person, and vanity can be a terrible thing. I should know. I used to be vain myself.
You, Sophia?
What, you think I was born with white hair and a butt like Play-Doh?
Champagne, the best you have.
Dorothy, that's so expensive.
Shut up, Rose.
This is my treat. It is a celebration.
What are we celebrating?
My daughter found out she has a debilitating disease.
And it has a name. I am thrilled.
We all are.
Well, of course. Congratulations.
What's wrong with this baby? Honey, darling, please shut up for Aunt Blanche.
You know, back in St. Olaf, we had a surefire method for getting babies to sleep.
If Herring, Elk, or anyone named Sven figures in this, I don't want to hear it.
Okay, I've got another one. Whenever my kids couldn't sleep, we always sang to them. Well, when he got back, it was the dead of winter. Tired and hungry, but still clinging to his belief that he would find the fountain of intelligence, he saw the miracle water trickling out of the ground, and he fell to his knees and tasted it. Unfortunately, it was a broken sewer main. 2 days later, he died of cholera.
I'm just in over my head. I mean, what with the banquet, press releases, petitions to be signed. Ma, what am I going to do?
I'll help.
Oh, Blanche, that's sweet. But, honey, aren't your hands tied with all the work that you're doing for you?
I know I'm not always the first one to volunteer, but I happen to have an affection for bayous. Matter of fact, I became a woman in one.
What? This is the President of the United States.
Then he should know better.
And this is...
Blanche Devereaux, it's a real pleasure, Mr. President. My, you do have a lot of Secret Service men, don't you?
Hi, Blanche.
Hi, fellas.
Thank you.
Hello, Miss Barnack.
Mrs. Bornak is a teacher, Mr. President.
Well, if it'll help bring in the crops.
Oh, you cannot possibly believe that abstaining is going to change the weather.
Blanche, I don't think you realize how powerful sex is. Once Charlie and I actually did it till the cows came home.
Activities director?
Oh, surely you remember the conversation we had last. Do this for me, you promised. Activities director?
Oh, of course I remember. Nice meeting you. I'm sure you'll get along well with our little gang.
Hi, everybody. I'm your new activities director,
What's your name, honey?
Sophia.
Sophia, move it. You're blocking the TV.
The way the mariachi band all chipped in to go on a double date with Rose and me. Here they are now. Angelo, great party the other night.
Yeah, you look great in a tux.
It wasn't your kind of crowd, pussycat.
That's funny. It's the same excuse you used when you didn't invite me to my sweet 16.
Now that was a party.
Okay, we got a motive, we got a weapon, and we got one suspect with no alibi. Blanche Devereaux, I'm charging you with murder. You have the right to remain...
Wait! Why would she bring a steak knife to what she thought was a romantic liaison?
It could have been for anything. I'm not familiar with her sexual proclivities.
What are you, a rookie?
You still haven't answered the question of how somebody else got into the room.
Hello. Is Blanche here?
Yes, she is. Whom shall I say is calling?
This is kind of embarrassing. Would you mind telling her Loverboy is here?
Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Blanche, Loverboy is here.
Blanche.
Loverboy. And the good news is that Sophia's still with us. So now you have the chance to tell her how you really feel about her.
I'll go first. Sophia, I drove 30 miles and missed a day of work just to be here. I think it's very selfish of you not to be dead.
And I missed... Well, actually, I didn't have anything planned for today. But I'm still PO'd.
Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for our 4 remaining couples as we enter lucky hour number 13. And a special round of applause for that spunky Nick Montevesi. He outran enemy fire at Iwo Jima, but phlebitis is the enemy he couldn't outrun tonight.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Sorry, Mama.
Rose, it's me, Dorothy.
Oh,
Did you not sleep again last night?
no, and it's been 3 nights in a row.
Honey, have you tried drinking warm milk before you go to bed?
No, I can't drink warm milk. It reminds me of the time Cousin Enoch fell into the vat of milk at the dairy.
Do you remember how I convinced you to let me back into bed?
No.
I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie, all the day and night time. Hear me sigh.
Oh, Stanley Zbornak, I don't believe that you're trying to charm me.
Is it working?
I don't think so.
Hello? Oh, Rocco, we were just talking about you. A funny thing just happened. We found thousands of dollars in your bag, and, well, we were kind of wondering where it came from. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, well, right. That clears it all up. See you later, then. He robbed the bank. Anybody hungry?
Some women don't kiss and tell.
Oh, shoot, honey, that's half the fun. Most of the boys I dated in college were just for the stories.
You must have more stories than O. Henry.
Mom, it's me.
Oh, Kirsten, I'm so glad you came.
Oh, don't worry, Mom. Everything's gonna be okay.
Kirsten, where are the girls?
Oh, they're too young to come to the hospital.
Not your girls. My girls. My girls aren't too young for anything.
Everybody go.
We'll be back in an hour. Oh, Ma, why don't you just sit right over here and read your magazine, okay?
Oh, okay. Don't try to outsmart me, Dorothy. I got the mind of a fox and the butt muscles of Baryshnikov. Take 5. Even the seagulls stopped listening. The rain kept our fans away. Baloney. Every week we've been collecting what, $20, $30 for the clinic? The last couple of weeks we're lucky if we break 10. And you know why? We're losing our edge. The excitement is gone. We're not driven like we used to be. Haven't we learned anything from the tragic examples of Mike Douglas and Ferdinand Marcos?
Girls, I'm just beside myself. Fidel's seen another woman.
Are you sure?
Yes. We used to see each other constantly. Now I'm lucky to see him twice a week. If he's not seeing another woman, what else could he be doing?
Maybe he paints like Red Skelton.
Rose, would you please hand me my grade book?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, okay.
Good. I'll keep the staff busy. You get Lillian. She's down the hall. Last door on the right. Go.
Hello. I'm John Porter. I'm in charge of admissions.
Oh, yeah, hi. I wanted to talk to you about my mother.
About checking her in?
No, about a collection of commemorative plates. Of course about checking her in. She's 125. Of course he ran away.
Oh, when?
I'm not sure. I have it pinpointed sometime between 10:15 today and late last Thursday.
You have no recollection of Dreyfus since last Thursday?
I have no recollection, period, since last Thursday. Anything could have happened in 3 days. I just hope I'm not carrying Steve Garvey's baby.
Rose, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, I couldn't sleep, so I decided to rearrange the kitchen cabinets. I'm sorry I woke you. Go on back to bed.
Rose, what are you doing with these?
Nothing.
You were looking for those pills, weren't you? Blanche, get rid of them.
You can't do that. They're mine.
Get rid of them, Blanche.
No.
I thought you said you could take these or leave them.
Well, that's true. And right now I want to take them.
The party. I totally forgot. There is no way I can face those people.
Oh, honey, of course you can. You were all friends of Trudy's. You can console each other. It'll help you to cope.
Maybe you're right. Maybe this is just what I need.
Oh, yeah, good for you, Dorothy.
Of course, breaking the news will not be easy.
Want my advice? Wait a couple of hours before you do. Stuff like this can put a real damper on happy hour.
Well, finally I get to meet the infamous Dorothy. Boy, has Trudy told me stories about you, too.
I bet she has. We had such a great time back in high school.
Like the time you and Trudy ran against each other for class treasurer.
You know, back in St. Olaf, I ran for president of the Bull Castration Club.
Blanche, I'm sure it's a fluke that nobody called you for a date.
They must have painted the men's room walls at the Pizza Hut.
Well, there must be something wrong with Rose's date. There has to be. I bet he's an airhead, or a mutant, or an insurance salesman. Now, that's it. Well, Rose, you and your geek have fun.
You said she wouldn't take it well, Dorothy.
Hi, Rose. Hey, how was football practice?
Terrible. It's the laziest team I've ever seen in my life. They didn't bust their tackles. They didn't crack their blocks. They played like a bunch of babies.
Coach, you dropped the whistle.
Oh, thanks, Billy. That was very nice of you. Now you two boys run along home.
Okay, bye.
Billy?
Yes?
I said run. Move it, you little panty waist on the double!
Hey, why are you wearing makeup? So your mother won't be embarrassed?
Honey, he won't pay any attention to you no matter what you do.
Oh, yeah? Hey, fella, your flyer's open.
Come on, lady, you don't need another.
Why not?
You've had 3 already.
I said, give me another.
Fine. It's your life. Just don't blame me if you get sick.
You're not even gonna ask what's wrong?
What's wrong, Ma?
I got 3 days to live.
Fine, Ma. I'll scratch the Bengay off the grocery list.
I can't believe you're so insensitive.
Ma, you are not dying.
I am, Dorothy. I had a dream last night, a death dream. Your father spoke to me.
Spoke to you? How?
Do I look like Rich Little?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, I'll tell them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Bye.
What'd he say?
He said he was in total agreement that it was a miscarriage of justice and we deserved the money.
Oh, that's great.
He also told me that I called his Chinese restaurant instead of the lottery commission. Oh. He felt so bad he's giving us free egg rolls the next time we come in. You'd think you'd miss that feeling you get with that first puff. That feeling of relaxation when you hold it in and then the sheer exhilaration as you exhale slowly.
No, not really. I found other ways to ease my tensions. Honey, would you hand me that large saucepan over there?
Oh, sure.
No, the one behind it, the really big one.
Nice going. I can come more ground than you in my wheelchair.
How you feeling, Ma?
No improvement.
I'm sorry. By the way, you're wearing your knee brace on your neck.
At least I think it's the airport.
Wow, in 20 minutes we'll be in St. Gustav. Then we'll hop on a train for Zumbro Falls and we'll grab the shuttle. By my estimation, we should be in St. Olaf in a couple of days.
Days?
Did it leave a faint trail of yellow exhaust?
Yes, it did.
Very good. Ms. Bornak, there's a perfectly simple explanation for what you saw.
Well, I always knew there would be.
What you and Rose Nyland saw was a UFO.
Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going through. I can read it in your face.
You can.
Oh, sure. Your husband or your boyfriend dumped you. Oh, honey, don't let it get you down. It's just the nature of the beast. They'd do it in the mud if they had to. You just go sleep with his best friend. That'll even up the score. Don't even speak to me, Rose. What you did was terrible. I've never been so humiliated in my entire life.
That's not true. What about the time you got caught with the Orkin man?
Don't comfort me, Rose. Rose, how about you? You want to learn dirty dancing?
I don't know. For some odd reason, dirty dancing always sounds dirty.
Come on, Rose. You know you like dancing.
I like square dancing.
This is just like square dancing.
All right, count me in.
Oh, great. Just one thing. When you do-si-do, your legs are wrapped around your partner's neck.
Gee, Ma, I don't know if this was such a good idea.
I think you're right, Dorothy. Maybe I should have done my own hair. I've been doing it for years.
That's why it looks like something you buy on a stick at halftime.
Sophia, we're just a little bit nervous. This is a very important event. We want to look perfect.
Please, the man works with scissors, not a sandblaster. Peppy gets the standard 20%, and we're left with a tidy sum for only 1 week's work.
So 20% is standard for a boxer?
It is if he doesn't speak English.
Ma, that's it. Forget it. Take him back.
To where? Customer service? Besides, I believe there's no return clause on fighters. Unless you're Robin Givens. Seymour!
Hello, I'm the great... I am the great
Alfonso.
What?
Pull the damn rabbit out of your hat.
Oh, right. Abracadabra, hocus picus.
Hocus.
Michael, where's the damn rabbit? You have to give the other hat.
Sophia, he's terrible.
No, he's not. He's terrific. Oh, you mean the act? We'll work on it.
He was called mediocre because there was nothing special about him. He wasn't talented, he wasn't smart, he wasn't rich, he wasn't handsome, he wasn't good at anything.
If he also wore a bad toupee, she could be describing my Stanley.
Anyway, it made Tunder's wife miserable that her husband was best known for being mediocre.
I understand Marilyn Quayle feels the same way.
Was I talking to you? I'm talking to my daughter. To me, you don't exist.
And who's driving you to your niece's wedding in California?
Salvador, you're upsetting Papa. Would you please find a mechanic? It's freezing in here.
My course is a freezing in here. Mr. Ziti for brains decides to take a shortcut through Chicago in the dead of winter.
Hello.
Hi, Dorothy. What's wrong with your hip?
I was hoping you'd be my date, Rose.
Oh, gee, I'm busy tonight, but maybe you could try me again next week.
What's in the box, Rose?
Oh, brochures for the Be a Pal program. I'm mailing them out.
Oh, how does that work?
Well, you just put them in an envelope and you stick a stamp on it.
Ma, Blanche made me do it.
What, don't you have a mind of your own? If Gladys Goldfine told you to drink a whole bottle of Kaopectate, would you?
Who blabbed?
Everybody, just calm down. Sophia, tell me what happened.
Same old story. Girl meets boy, girl loses boy, girl can't remember her address, so cab just circles and circles and circles.
Parents told you that. I don't care if they are from the South.
Well, they didn't tell me in words, they told me in actions. Like on our birthdays. Now, when we were little, every year my sisters had huge parties with clowns and magicians and tons of presents.
No, and you didn't.
Well, not exactly. I mean, I did have parties and I had presents, but I never had a clown. Not until I was much older. Yeah. I think I'll have just one more cup of tea.
Yeah, and we can finish the cheesecake.
Sounds good.
You know what would go so good on this cheesecake is those chocolate sprinkles.
We finished those an hour ago.
Hey, we could crush some Oreos on top.
We ran out of those 2 hours ago.
How about some whipped cream?
I think we still have a can. I'll get it. It's in my bedroom.
Never mind, Blanche.
George on Christmas Eve.
Oh, Blanche, how exciting.
Let me tell you just how exciting a Christmas Eve can be. I was home from college on Christmas vacation when my best friend, Lisa Jane Beadler, fixed me up with the most beautiful boy I'd ever laid my eyes on.
Oh, George.
No, this was Richard J. Wilde. And believe me, his name said it all. We must have pulled over on the side of the road 5 times on our way to that Christmas dance.
It's always best to drive defensively over the holidays.
With my kids like you all did. See, I had a nanny doing all that for me. Do you know what it's like to see your child wake up on Christmas and go run into his nanny?
Children do that sort of thing, Blanche.
All right, how about when they're 21 and they still don't come to you because they think you weren't there for them? I have a pretty tough time living with that, you know. And I just intend to make damn sure that if the time ever comes, there's going to be somebody there for Emily.
Going to New York. Great, let's do it. You're not invited, Oliver. I'm going alone. Yeah, but we could... Hi, Ma. Hey, how'd you like to have... Oh, come on, Ma. That was 3-4 months ago.
I never will forget back in high school in biology class when we were studying the octopus.
Now, I swear I meant to say 8 tentacles.
No, you didn't.
I tried to find what was missing. I tried to find it in another man. Men. Many men.
I should have known this was going to happen. You should never work with friends. You're fired.
You can't fire me. That's against the law. That's sex discrimination.
Oh, Well, I'll give you one more chance. Wait a minute. How is it sex discrimination?
Well, that's what I was doing this afternoon when I didn't get this work done.
There, I'm done.
Boy, sure took you a long time to spell Welcome Magda.
Oh, I thought that'd be too boring. So instead, I decided to depict Magda's escape from Czechoslovakia.
But isn't that barbed wire?
Isn't it amazing what you can do with icing?
Gee, you made that pack of dogs look very realistic.
You're not serious, Blanche.
Oh, sure I am. Breasts are back in fashion. And what God didn't give me, Dr. Myron Rosenzweig will. Oh, that man is the Picasso of plastic surgeons.
Well, just be sure he doesn't attach one of them to your forehead.
I just want to thank all those people who made this evening possible, especially my daughter, Dorothy. Dorothy, stand up and take a bow.
If I'm not mistaken, all the waiters were whistling at me.
Maybe they never saw anyone eat a steak that fast.
If you get pinched by an Italian, it takes about 5 minutes.
Hi.
What are you doing up? You have school tomorrow.
Oh, I'm just too smart for my own good. I feel as trapped and isolated as Soren Kierkegaard in his final days. What?
That's such a funny name.
Oh, Rose. Rose, it's the middle of September. What are you doing?
Oh, it's a banner Charlie made. I thought it'd be nice to have some good memories of him around me. He put it up every year. He was one of a kind, all right. Loved Christmas.
Loved Christmas. That is unique.
Of course, that was before he met Blanche. Pretty, affectionate, fun-loving Blanche. Say, where is old Happy Pants?
You see, studies show that when baby monkeys are taken away from their mothers, they can transfer their love to fake mothers. And the same thing is happening with Stan. I mean, he's weaning himself from his relationship with me by using a fake monkey for companionship.
Why not use a fake woman?
Oh, well, honey, that's why Stan went to the psychiatrist in the first place.
Me? Why are you mad at me?
Oh, Rose, you should have known you could trust me. This is an insult to me and our whole relationship.
Miles? Miles? Miles, big news.
Later.
Rose, I'm busy, Sophia.
Dorothy, I can't breathe.
Not now, Ma.
Dorothy Parker turned to Alexander Wolcott and said, if you laid all the women in this room end to end, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Very clever.
Very, very clever.
I can't remember hearing anything more clever. Unless it was last week on Alf when the cat next door...
How do I look? Not bad. You got another date with Captain Marvelous?
Mr. Terrific. I can see you didn't read many comic books when you were a child.
Hey, we had comic books in Sicily. My favorite was Benito the Hood. He lived in the forest with his band of merry thugs. Benito was very popular.
You mean because he stole from the rich and gave to the poor?
I said Benito the Hood, not Benito the Idiot.
Oh, Rose, this is hopeless. We're never going to feel well enough to coach that game today.
Oh, I guess we'll have to forfeit. But it's going to break those kids' hearts.
Forfeit? You mean quit? You can't do that, Rose. No member of my family ever quits.
Sophia, I'm not a member of your family.
Pretend, Rose. I'm going for a moment here. You never saw a Frank Capra film?
Fidel Santiago lived life.
Excuse me, Father. Hold that thought. Which of you was Fidel's girlfriend?
Oh! My God! He had his burro hitched to every bedpost in town.
But that's good news, girls. That means your cheap animal-like lust didn't have anything to do with killing Fidel.
Look, the exterminator said that you came in through a hole under the sink. Please, that's the way I'd like you to go. Oh, good boy!
You have the gift!
Rose, tell me, how long have you been standing here?
We're having a club meeting.
I didn't know you were in a club.
Yeah, a bunch of us get together and send our pictures into Willard Scott with a note saying we're 100.
Ma, that's ridiculous.
You got a better way to get on the Today Show? Will you take it inside, Rose? This isn't the French Quarter.
Come on, Rose, you just checked the door 2 minutes ago.
Thought I heard something. I should never have let them go shopping. It's too dangerous.
What are you talking about?
Just this morning, I read where 1,400 people were injured in a food riot in Calcutta.
This is all because you're going through the change?
God, I hate that expression.
What is the big deal, Blanche? It's nothing. Look at it this way. You don't get cramps once a month. You don't go on eating binges once a month. You don't get crazy once a month.
You just grow a beard.
Everybody, this is Fidel Santiago.
How do you do? Very nice to meet you.
It is always a pleasure to meet beautiful ladies such as yourself.
With that accent, you could almost buy it.
And you must be Sophia.
Your face looks awfully familiar. Was your picture ever on a cigar box?
No, she's right. That was my father.
May we continue, Commandant?
My goodness, look what I found. Double fudge cookies. I thought we agreed not to keep cookies in the house.
Right, after this last box.
You're not going to eat them, are you?
Oh, no, Rose. We're going to go to some dumb country and try to use them as money.
I thought we were going to divide up work.
That's right. Rose make a fresh pot of coffee, Dorothy get the plates, and I'll just tear into these suckers.
I guess we should get back to work.
Oh, I suppose so, but you know, a big meal always makes me so sleepy.
Is that why you usually go right to bed after a date buys you dinner?
Morning, Rose.
Dorothy, sometimes you can be so cruel. Honey, what's the matter?
Everything. I just found out I'm the most boring person alive.
Did something happen to Regis Philbin?
I'm Dr. Corley.
Pleased to meet you. Well, goodbye.
Mrs. Petrillo, we'd really like you to stay with us for the next 48 hours.
Please. For half the price, I could go to Club Med, get a nicer room, better food, and not be forced to pee in a Dixie cup. Draft in here?
I sure do.
Rose, I was about to tell a story.
I want to tell one.
Dorothy?
Boy, this is a no-win situation. But go ahead, Blanche.
Well, fine. You may never get to hear my story.
Then I'm wrong. It isn't a no-win situation.
You know, you really have to give Max and Sophia credit. This business was their dream, and they're going after it. I just wish I'd done that with my dream.
Fine. Honey, would you check on the pizzas? One may be ready.
Well, why don't you want to hear about my dream?
Because it is always the same thing with you, Blanche. Sex, sex, sex. I am tired of hearing it.
Maybe that's because you're not getting any, Dorothy.
Excuse me?
$10,000. 10,000 once, 10,000 twice, sold for $10,000. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Would you mind if I said a few words to the audience?
For 10 grand, they should let him shower with the audience.
I guess now I'll never get to fly on the Concorde.
And I'll never get to buy that emerald pendant to dangle between my perky bosoms.
And I'll never get to buy perky bosoms.
Rose, I owe you an apology.
You sure do.
I shouldn't have got you mixed up in all this. It's just so hard to tell Blanche the truth.
Clayton, you're selling your sister short. Now, at times, Blanche can be very understanding and compassionate and forgiving.
Get away from my baby brother, you cradle-snatching, empty-headed, two-faced dummy.
There's only one thing that does that for me.
Cooking a big meal.
No, making love in a closet. But hey, you do what you can.
Hi, we're back. We helped Stan pick out a ring for Catherine. I feel terrible. I think we spent too much money.
Oh, stop worrying about the money. We're talking about love.
I still think we spent too much.
You didn't spend it. The Yutz spent it. That's what makes him a Yutz.
You see now, for instance, this slash of color of red across the bottom, well, that represents the setting sun, and this jagged blue line, now that signifies the ocean. And then this spot of orange up here in the corner, that stands for the planets and man's eternal struggle against nature and the elements.
No, it doesn't, Blanche. That's where I put my creamsicle down this afternoon when I answered the phone.
Mr. DeKimmel, I find your work absolutely riveting.
Well, so do I. I'm just not sure I understand it.
No, of course you don't. If you had any real grasp of color, you certainly wouldn't have worn those shoes with that dress.
Oh, now, just a minute here, Mr. DeKimmel. I see no reason for you to be insulting my friend Rose or her shoes. Oh, my Lord, look at those things.
Here's the game plan. We keep it on the ground. Then, when they're used to it on the ground, we attack them through the air. I've used the same formula for 60 years of lovemaking. Trust me, it works. Okay, everybody, hit the field. Yeah!
Oh, Ma, come on. Do you really expect us to believe that you're going to go through with this?
Believe what you want, Dorothy. Sicilians take these things very seriously. You know what might happen to me if I didn't do my duty?
What?
Free swimming lessons with a cement kickboard.
And after he had wept over his crab cakes, I begged her to come back to him.
So I guess you're not going to see him again.
Oh, yes. Yes, I will.
What? Listen, pussycat, it's been a long time since you've been out on a date. And it's quite possible you can no longer judge a good one from a bad one. So let me be of help. Bad date, Dorothy. Bad date. What did you get?
I'm not sure. I think it's coconut. It's white on the inside, but there's a red ring around the outside.
Oh, that's my lipstick. I don't like coconut.
No, that's disgusting. That piece of chocolate was in your mouth, and I just put it in mine.
Big deal. We took a bite out of the same piece of chocolate called C. Everett Koop. I only breastfed you for the first 2 years of your life. You want to talk disgusting? That's disgusting.
Why are you both wearing black? Did you just come from a funeral?
No, Rose. We were singing backup for Johnny Cash. Of course we were at a funeral.
Who died?
My best friend, Edith Flannery.
I thought Mildred Feinberg was your best friend.
She was, but we've grown apart. I think her death had something to do with it.
I was talking about your fable. Listen, Rose, I've come up with an idea. Now, with your stories and my illustrations, we just might have a bestseller here. What do you say to us teaming up and writing a kid's storybook together?
Oh, Blanche, that's a terrific idea. Oh, when my children were small, I bought those big illustrated storybooks all the time.
And I bet your kids loved them.
No, they had their own books.
You're basing this whole thing on a conversation you had with a telephone operator at NBC.
We're going to have to go and tell everyone it was all a big mistake.
Voila.
Oh, will you? All my keys are bent.
It sure would be nice to have some investments to fall back on, though. I just never had a mind for that.
Oh, me neither. I never had a mind for money matters. I always used to let Stanley handle all our investments.
Did he have a head for numbers?
Stanley? The man used to have to get naked to count to 21. is a little practical joke that Trudy played on me. You know, all of us on the tennis team decided that we would wear our tennis whites to the prom. Well, I showed up and I was the only one.
Oh, your date must have been horrified. No, her brother was a really good sport about it.
The most energetic, alive person I ever knew.
At the center, Dorothy, we teach acceptance. In life, there are some things that are inevitable, and you just have to accept them.
She is right, Dorothy. I know because I've been there myself.
You killed your best friend too, Blanche? Only instead of Atlantic City, they use St. Olaf geography.
Well, I'll be the bank.
Oh, good. There's the cash box.
Well, honey, this is empty.
Oh, I know. The St. Olaf Bank was one of the first savings and loans to go under.
Bad management?
Bad contractor. They built the bank on marshland and it sank. A Scandinavian instrument that looks like a tuba, except it's got hair on the bottom. Of course she plays the flute. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'm just a little wound up. Well, that's Holly now. Will you guys help me through this?
Well, sure, absolutely.
Oh, thanks a million. God, I hate this woman. But you, Blanche, I mean, men are drawn to you because of your charm and your wit and your zest for life. I mean, you can have the operation or not. Men won't care one bit about your breasts.
Really, Rose?
Not with me around.
We had pancakes yesterday. Lillian, you weren't here yesterday.
Here you are, honey. A nice cup of tea.
Lillian, Sophia tells me that you were in the Ziegfeld Follies.
Oh, yes. Those were the days.
You must have been something.
I was quite a looker.
Oh.
Almost as pretty as you.
Why, thank you.
Of course, I had bigger breasts.
Damn.
What's the matter, pussycat?
I can't balance my checkbook. The hell with it. I'm only off by a few pennies.
A few pennies. To you, it may not be much, but back in Sicily, a few pennies could make the difference between owning a gun and having to insert bullets into your victim manually. The man spent 90 days on the high seas drinking grain alcohol from a goat bladder.
Dominique speaks the truth. After Gina took a blood test for her marriage, we find out it is not possible she is related to us. The hospital, there must have been some mix-up.
You mean they switched the babies?
Oh, but this is ridiculous.
Absolutely. We can prove it. Dorothy, show him your driver's license.
Rose, what are you doing?
Watching the cheese balls.
You're supposed to be watching Dorothy.
I was watching Dorothy. But every time I watch her, Sophia eats a cheese ball.
Honey, let her have the darn cheese balls. Nobody else wants them.
Cheese ball, Father?
Yes, thank you very much. Now I know what I'm giving up for Lent.
Wouldn't you just like to know, big boy?
I hate psychiatrists. They blame everything on the mothers.
Sophia, he didn't blame you.
You heard what he said. We're afraid because our mothers taught us to be afraid.
For survival, Ma. They had to. I mean, what's a mother supposed to say? Don't be afraid of strangers. Eat their candy. Get into their cars.
Well, he made me feel better.
Me too.
I was just thrilled to be out of there. He had 2 dead fish in his tank.
You can't marry me.
Not now. Not yet. Listen, why don't you call up the kids and tell them they're spending tonight with their daddy? And then, after a while, if you still want to be a husband, why, you let me know. Bye.
Nice.
I had to. It hurts the music if you don't put it in.
Yeah, but the lyrics don't make any sense. I mean, it goes, Miami is nice, so I'll say it twice.
Oh, I see your point. Well, what about this? Miami is nice, so I'll say it thrice.
Right, who the hell says thrice?
It's a word.
So is interuterine.
She's just a little edgy because we've been taking care of you for 2 months. You've been eating us out of house and home and making life generally unbearable.
It's not a very charitable view to take. What are you making for lunch?
You listen Listen here, mister, we've been more than charitable. In the village my ancestors came from, if a man was bad company, unable to provide for his family, and not much fun under the old yak skin, the women would leave him out in the snow to die.
I thought this address sounded familiar. Boy, this is some coincidence.
This is no coincidence. Everything I have, you try to steal. May the bags under your eyes grow so large your head falls in them.
May your shampoo get mixed up with your preparation H and shrink your head to the size of a mushroom.
You do see my point.
I don't want to go back, Teach.
I know you don't. And I don't want you to go either. I wish I could say that you won't have to go back, but I can't. The only thing I can promise you, though, is that running away is not the answer. Whoa! Oh, I'm sorry, Mario. I never realized that ripping off a nose would leave that big a hole. Thank you. I can't tell you what it means to have someone like you believe me.
Give me that. That's not his. He had Buddy Klein do it for him.
This is a proxy?
He doesn't mind doing it in his own bed, but there's something about doing it in a public place.
Kind of like sex.
Maybe where you come from.
How you can stand listening to me and all my ridiculous stories.
Your stories are very refreshing, Rose. Look, it's like driving in the country and getting lost. You may not know where you are, but you always have a good time finding your way out.
That was a compliment, wasn't it?
Come on.
Oh, hi, Blanche.
Yeah.
James, I'm here about the car.
Miles?
No, honey, it's James. You stay right there and I'll get the keys.
How much mileage has she got on her?
Let's just say she's been around the block.
I can still see you standing on the platform as the train started to roll by. Remember, Rose? You were walking alongside, tears rolling down your cheeks. When the train picked up a little speed, you started to run. Suddenly, you were out of sight. It was very painful for me.
For me, too. I ran face first into the crossing signal.
Rose.
What do you mean he attempted to?
He worked at Lars Ericsson's drugstore and tackle shop. He was a soda jerk. Now that I think about it, he was the town jerk. Every Saturday afternoon, I'd go in and have a sundae. Well, Nils would arrange the ice cream scoops in an obscene way.
My address is on my card, and I have a meeting with a client in a half hour, so I better get rolling. See you at 8.
Oh, by the way, Ma, when I was at the library, they said that your library card had expired 5 years ago.
Really? Where could I have been?
Program class, and it's going to be a challenge. I'm going to have students who know that Chekhov is a brilliant Russian playwright, not the guy who was the navigator on the Enterprise.
I didn't know the guy from Star Trek wrote plays.
So, Dorothy, what you're telling me is I'm going to take this recipe with me to the grave.
Right along with the secret of why Uncle Gino legally adopted that goat.
That must be a good feeling.
Well, it's kind of an acknowledgement.
I hate to interrupt you, but I have some bad news. It's all over. That's right, you're busted. Barbara's a cop.
In a dress, without a gun. So basically what you have here is a crossing guard thing.
We just swing the way the wind blows, don't we? And who's this? Glinda, the good witch of the north? You disgust me. After the way you've treated me, I should scratch your eyes out. Call me.
Poker buddy.
Hurricane supplies coming through.
What makes you so certain about the storm, Sophia?
Because I'm old. I know. I've seen everything twice. Except Bonfire of the Vanities. Woof.
Ma, listen, I just got back from my session and I've got some great news. Ma, it's over. He is gone. He is out of our lives forever.
Yeah, forever. Forever like my husband Sal. The Pope came to the hospital and blessed Agnes. He answered my prayers. He answered me. Oh, ye of little faith.
Oh, you must feel special, Sophia. You must feel blessed.
And hungry. Come on, Rose. Let's go into the kitchen and whip up some loaves and fishes.
Oh, he had the most beautiful blue eyes.
Yeah, all the cute guys are either married or popes.
He said America wouldn't root for me.
Sweetheart, he's wrong. How can America not root for you? You're what this country's all about, the daughter of immigrants who became the first member of her family to go to college. You made something of yourself.
Thanks, Ma.
Until you got knocked up in a back seat by a nobody.
How was bingo?
Judge for yourself.
Oh, you don't have any clothes on.
Tell me about it. I just walked 10 blocks. I got a belly button full of tweed.
Well, what the hell happened?
In the middle of bingo, Maury Heseltine sits down. He's the big practical joker at the center. Believe me, Howie Mandel is funnier. Everybody, this is Vincenzo.
Ma, who is Vincenzo?
Who he is doesn't matter. It's who he used to be. 30 years ago, this man was one of Italy's foremost architects, respected the world over, creator of some of Europe's most beautiful cathedrals. Isn't that right, Vincenzo? Today, he's a pathetic shell of a man who spends all day trying to look up women's dresses. Wants to take a man to Tony Bennett in my place.
Oh, Sophia, calm down, honey. It's all right if you want to drop your girlfriend because a man asks you out. That's the law of the jungle.
Thank you, Sheena, queen of the slut people.
But you know, this proves something. Left to herself, Blanche is wild and self-absorbed. But give her a little responsibility, you know, a job to do. Boy, she's right there for you. Where is she, anyway?
Hello, xin chào các bạn. Đây là cây hoa hồng. Ra rất là nhiều hoa nhưng mà nó lụi vợi rồi. Con ấy. Cây hồng rất là cao. Nhà cháu sắp xong rồi bà. Vâng. Còn một ít nữa thôi, họ đang làm lốt. Đây là cái lụ hoa. Hmm.